take a look across. We take a look at the different national dailies on our table and see what they've got for us. We reel out the headlines we have across different national dailies and get your thoughts on them. We have opened and close to you now at number 32 Olu Road, Ekulobia. For every business transaction, for all inquiries, whatever you want to find out from or of Omega or whatever service you want us to render to you, and you've been wondering how to get across to us, you've been wondering how do I locate these people. Yes, it is easier for you now. You just need to walk into our office at number 32 Olu Road, Ekulobia. And whatever you want to find out, whatever service you want us to render to you, you would see our people there to discuss and talk that out with you. You can also be a part of this conversation on Facebook Live. We are live on Facebook at Omega 101.7 FM. We are also on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on YouSocial and YouTube. On YouTube, you don't just go like, subscribe with the notification button that comes with the bell icon. And you would get update of every post, every clip that drops on our platform on YouTube. Do be a part of our social media platforms to stay ever engaged and updated on every information that we've got for you. And to begin this day with the electronic press review, we start with the Punch newspaper. The first one we have on our table says, world leaders gather for Queen Elizabeth's funeral. World leaders gather for Queen Elizabeth's funeral. Lagos APC faults Jando for visiting traffic offenders. Jando is the People's Democratic Party gubernatorial candidate for Lagos State. You may be aware that in few days now, Lagos State has been on the hit on social media and the internet for auctioning traffic offenders' vehicles, and too many stories have actually been have sprung up in respect to that. People are reacting, some are supporting what the government has done, and all of that. Now, the Lagos State All Progressives Congress is faulting Jando, the People's Democratic Party's gubernatorial candidate for Lagos State, for visiting traffic offenders. Okay, you may want to know what he discussed with them and why the Lagos APC is faulting it. You just need to pick a copy of the Punch and read up. 24 sue INEC, alleged 7 million voters unregistered. 24 sue INEC, alleged 7 million voters unregistered. Federal government grants 16 trillion naira waiver to Dangote. Honeywell orders. Interesting. Federal government grants 16 trillion naira waiver to Dangote. Honeywell orders. Kano's lawyer, governor's aide differ over Imo invasion. Kano's lawyer, governor's aide differ over Imo invasion. Akeredolu upgrades Ondo monarchs. Akeredolu upgrades Ondo monarchs. That's coming from the governor of Ondo State. Customs alarm on petrol supply. Subsidy calls for probe. Customs alarm on petrol supply. Subsidy calls for probe. Ayu should quit after election, says ex-NAS members. Ayu should quit after election, says ex-NAS members. Interesting. That's following the crisis that has been rocking the PDP ever since after the presidential primaries of the party. Okay, some ex-members of the National Assembly is insisting that the acting chairman, the acting national chairman of the party should stay till after elections. You may want to know their reasons for that. Do pick a copy and read up. And finally, Atiku Kwankwaso have no street credibility, says Keyamo. Atiku Kwankwaso have no street credibility, says Keyamo. And that's all we can take from the Punch. Do pick a copy and read up. And away from the Punch to the Sun newspaper. APC in dilemma, 10 days to campaign kick off. APC in dilemma, 10 days to campaign kick off. Presidency. North-South zoning against federal character, says Iwanyanwu. Presidency, North-South zoning against federal character, says Iwanyanwu. Road to 2023, waiting for campaign flag off the central issues. Waiting for campaign flag off the central issues. You may want to know who is saying that and why he is saying it. You need to pick a copy and read up. Buhari has put Nigeria's existence at risk, says Professor Osinbajo, ex-chair, NHRC. Buhari has put Nigeria's existence at risk, says Professor Osinbajo. Impounded vehicles auction inhuman, says Vivo, Labour Party Guber candidate of Lagos State. Impounded vehicles auction inhuman, says Vivo, Labour Party Guber candidate of Lagos State. Okowa urges religious leaders to be agents of change. Nigerians found hope in Obi, linking him with IPOB, laughable, says Labour Party. Interesting. Nigerians found hope in Obi, linking him with IPOB, laughable, says Labour Party. 7 million Nigerians sue INEC over failure to complete voter registration. 7 million Nigerians sue INEC over failure to complete voter registration. That's quite interesting. You may want to know what's happening there. You need to pick a copy and read up. And finally, airborne PDP Guber crisis. Orderly's court victory, not final, says Ogba. Airborne PDP Guber crisis. Orderly's court victory, not final, says Ogba. Do pick a copy from the Sun newspaper to read up. And away from the Sun to the Guardian newspaper. Janda visits victims of car auction, promises humane measures for traffic violators. Janda visits victims of car auction, promises humane measures for traffic violators. And that's still talking about the PDP Guber candidate of Lagos State. PDP National Secretary inaugurates Guber campaign team. PDP National Secretary inaugurates Guber campaign team. Anambra YPP senatorial candidate assures quality representation if elected. Oyo APC cautions voters against Makinde's false claim on achievements. Oyo APC cautions voters against Makinde's false claim on achievements. Interesting. Support group promises to deliver 2 million votes for Tinubu in Kaduna State. Support group promises to deliver 2 million votes for Tinubu in Kaduna State. YAPC will dethrone PDP in Benue by Rijau. YAPC will dethrone PDP in Benue by Rijau. Feuding Delta communities sign peace pact after 2 deaths. Feuding Delta communities sign peace pact after 2 deaths. Strike. Ipman denies backing protesters against police commissioner in Rivers. Ipman denies backing protesters against police commissioner in Rivers. Pandemonium as soldiers swoop on Osun communities over protest against IBEDC blackout. Pandemonium as soldiers swoop on Osun communities over protest against IBEDC blackout. And that's all we can take from The Guardian. Do pick a copy and read up. And away from that to the Tribune. Interesting. Masqueraders disrupt church service. Flog pastor. Worshippers in Plateau. That's quite a pity story. Masqueraders disrupt church service. Flog pastor. Worshippers in Plateau State. You may want to know what happened and what led to that. You may want to know all of the drama that played that. You need to pick a copy of the Tribune and read up. 2023 elections. Suspense all over as candidates await INEC's final list. 2023 elections. Suspense all over as candidates await INEC's final list. Interesting. Nigeria's yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Nigeria yesterday, today, and tomorrow. You may want to know what that is talking about. You need to pick a copy and read up. Why Uju Anya is right. Why Uju Anya is right. That's the professor that spoke about the death of the late Queen Elizabeth II, 2023. Senator Remi Tinubu makes case for women, youths. Senator Remi Tinubu makes case for women, youths. Hamzat, a committed partner in Greater Lagos agenda, says Sanwo-Olu. Hamzat, a committed partner in Greater Lagos agenda, says Sanwo-Olu. SEC reiterates commitment to commodities ecosystem development. SEC reiterates commitment to commodities ecosystem development. And that's all we can take from the Tribune. Do pick a copy and read up. And away from that to business day. Security and 2023 elections in Nigeria. Security and 2023 elections in Nigeria. Nigeria is happening to Ajaokuta. That's interesting. Nigeria is happening to Ajaokuta. You may want to know what's happening in Ajaokuta that is ascribed as Nigeria happening to that locality. Buhari has charted right path for Ajaokuta's future. Ex-NMS president. Queen Elizabeth II funeral. What the shadow for today will be like. And finally, Nigeria's external reserves 4 to 3 months below. Nigeria's external reserves 4 to 3 months below. 4 to 3 months low. Sorry, I beg your pardon. And that's all we can take from business day. You pick a copy. And away from that to the New Telegraph. APC ineptitude plunged Nigeria into poverty, hunger, and unemployment. That's coming from Okowa, the governor of Delta State and the deputy presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party. APC ineptitude plunged Nigeria into poverty, hunger, and unemployment. 2023, bishops task INEC on tech deployment for polls. Bishops task INEC on tech deployment for polls. Northeast Governors Forum adopts 9 resolutions. Northeast Governors Forum adopts 9 resolutions. 2023, Tinubu appoints Yahaya Bello as National Youth Coordinator. Interesting. Tinubu appoints Yahaya Bello as National Youth Coordinator. 19 burnt beyond recognition in FCT auto crash. That's the Federal Capital Territory. Wow, that's quite painful. 19 burnt beyond recognition in FCT auto crash. Ellen system fueling agitations, says group. Ellen system fueling agitations, says group. You may want to know what group is saying this. You just need to pick a copy of the New Telegraph. Biden, word is better for the Queen. Interesting. Biden, word is better for the Queen. And that's all we can take from the New Telegraph. You pick a copy and read up. If you are just joining us, you are on 2 Omega 101.7 FM, and this is the Electronic Press Review. My name is Arinze Chukwu. And to continue with the Electronic Press Review, as we review and look at various headlines across the national dailies on our table, we are taking a look at now the Blueprint newspaper. And the first one we have here says, we are well positioned to meet customers' banking needs in Africa. Interesting. 19.76 trillion naira 2023 Budget Finance Act Amendment way out of 11.03 trillion deficit, says Senate. Interesting. Okay, Kaduna, bandits kill farmer, abduct 3 people, seize 30 vehicles along Benungwari, Fontua Road. Bandits kill farmer, abduct 3 people, seize 30 vehicles along Benungwari, Fontua Road. That's happening in Kaduna State. Increasing cocoa exports can earn Nigeria $3 billion yearly, says Fidelity Bank CEO. Increasing cocoa exports can earn Nigeria $3 billion yearly, says Fidelity Bank CSO. And finally, rejection of Nigeria's agro exports. FG refused report of technical committee. Rejection of Nigeria's agro exports. FG, that's the federal government, receives report of technical committee. And that's all we can take from the blueprint. Do pick a copy and read up. And away from that to the vanguard. Masquerades invade church, flog worshippers, destroy property in Plateau community. Masquerades invade church, flog worshippers, destroy property in Plateau community. Wife dies while chasing husband over side chick in Calabar. Wife dies while chasing husband over side chick in Calabar. That's quite painful. Wow. NLC challenges APC, orders to campaign with subsidy removal, sale of refineries. Okay. Queen Elizabeth was a monarch for all seasons, says Osinbajo. Queen Elizabeth was a monarch for all seasons, says Osinbajo. Lagos PDP Guba candidate Funke Akindele visit owners of auction vehicles in Lagos State. Okonji-Iweala, Dangote, Adesina, orders for Nigeria's Global Investment Forum in New York. On COVID-19, Catholic bishops suspend 30-month ban on handshakes during Mass. On COVID-19, Catholic bishops suspend 30-month ban on handshakes during Mass. Be prepared to protect Benue communities. Autumn charges special guards trainees. Be prepared to protect Benue communities. Autumn charges special guards trainees. That's coming from the governor of Benue State. And finally, plans to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. Atenebo says federal government. Interesting. Plans to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. Atenebo says federal government. In barely a few months, the federal government is still very hopeful and optimistic that they can get to the realization of lifting not less than 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. Let's see how possible that can come through before this administration takes a bow out of office. And that's what we can tell from the Vanguard. Do pick a copy and read up. And finally on our table, because time will not permit us to go further, we'll take a look at the cable newspaper. It's provocative. Falana reacts as police PRO says civilians can't retaliate against assault. Wow, that's quite interesting. Human rights lawyer Barrister Femi Falana has reacted that it is provocative. Police PRO says civilians can't retaliate against assault. That means if you have been assaulted by police personnel, you just need to keep mute and receive all of the assault. Let's see how that would go. Bagudu, success of Paystack. Okay. Badger to meet ASU on Tuesday. Badger to meet ASU. That's the Academic Staff Union of Universities on Tuesday. Oshomole, how can Obi fix Nigeria's security challenges when he failed in Anambra? Oshomole, how can Obi fix Nigeria's security challenges when he failed in Anambra? That's coming from the former national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, and a one-time governor of Edo State. Buhari and Osinbajo will be abroad on Monday. Who will be in charge of Nigeria? That's an interesting question. Tinubu appoints Yahaya Bello as National Youth Coordinator of Presidential Campaign. No justification. Southwest PDP no justification. Southwest PDP publicity secretaries reject calls for Ayu's resignation. And finally, Senator, National Assembly may tackle 11.03 trillion naira budget deficit with Amendment of Finance Act. And that's all we can take from the electronic press review headlines. And if you want to be a part of this conversation, let's take a listen to the rules of engagement.
Do you want to be a part of the conversation? The rules of engagement are as follows. Call 081 5101 7777 or 090 711 21017. Then state your name and location, headline of interest, and you have 2 minutes to make your submissions on the specified headline of interest. Please don't insult the sensibilities of the listener or other callers. EPR, Electronic Press Reviews, only on Omega.
Call us on 0815-1017-777 or 0907-112-1017. That's basically for call. And if you want to get across to us faster for your text messages, or if you want to send us a message across WhatsApp, you can do that using this number 0813-437-0266. That's 08134-37-0266. Strictly for text messages and WhatsApp messages, no calls on this line. I beg you, please, so you can allow us to read text messages, allow us to attend to people's SMSs on WhatsApp. And you can also be a part of this conversation on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook, and we will read your reactions and submissions on Facebook. Hello.
Good morning, my humble Deputy Speaker.
Good morning, sir. Thank you, Pastor Kafo. Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Speaker, permit me to say something concerning Kofo Sodima, the Kanu's lawyer, reporter. The edge, if you go to assist to by yourself, Mr. Speaker, you know the minister was not saying anything live. But it was the edge who are trying to deceive people, as they have been doing in different government platforms. Mr. Speaker, since you have seen in this very particular election, you have any single truth that comes from the police, from the army, from the governor, whatever. You always do this to cover this up. And when the budget was here, I said to bring the light to this honor, and the people from Olu will call and tell you the reality on the ground. Mr. Speaker, permit me to inform you how the army troops in Osun State because of the protest. Mr. Speaker, if you can now understand what is going on in Uganda, and also in Congo. You deal with me. It is quite senseless, Mr. Speaker, to kill people, to burn their houses, or destroy individuals because you want to keep on Nigeria to British. It is quite unfortunate, Mr. Speaker. Because you permit me to tell you that the way we Africans break are behaving, I don't like it. Why can't we read it? And that's why now when you go to England, oh, you will not come to my mother's bed, this person will not come. And then you see that for something as a sanction. I don't get it for president. And people were different. So we are going to go to see the president. What? Do you go there to see people will not die again? Mr. Speaker, permit me to tell you that the way we Africans are behaving, I'm not comfortable with it. But you have a nice day.
Thank you, Pastor Chris Pastor Okafor, for talking to us. And we have this message on Facebook from Dr. Mrs. Mma Olebara in Owerri. In the life of any nation, there comes crucial moments when leaders take decisive actions aimed at salvaging their people from impending doom. Nigeria needs purging. Nigeria will thrive when we begin to care about who governs us, how we are governed, and hold them accountable. It will thrive when we choose them by value and question their character and pedigree. Nigerians are getting disgusted and disappointed the way things are going. A country hardly gets it right if politics and party leaning become the only standard for driving a nation to success. Dr. Mrs. Mma Olebara in Owerri, that's one of our Facebook reactors. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My one dress for
Good morning, sir.
Yes, thanks for your service.
Very well, very well.
You're on the line with the Jackson.
Okay.
From Ono.
All right, sir, go ahead, sir.
Yes. The things that are happening within the Christians about masquerade, that Nigeria has a law that any masquerade should be paraded within the village or the interior community. It's so the masquerade are harassing the Christians, even flogging the worshippers. That's what I'm saying. Do they want to Islamize this Nigeria actually by force? Why not allow the Christians to preach and live? Come down to this our eastern side. You see that people they have freedom to go where they want to go. They have freedom of worship. They do everything that is commercialized in the community or the country and the land. But the Christians over there, they tackle them. They either create them, they use masquerade to change them, they do everything that can keep them to asunder. Why? And it's not easy. So I don't blame them because the Christians now, the God says that the judgment comes from the church. If they answered prayer, they would have stopped to this by calling all the time for God to interpret between all this type of thing they are doing to them. And then finally, the campaign now is to start. Politics has come out now. They are promising heaven and earth. As Shagari promised the former Shagari president, the Abuja people, and nothing has happened. They are talking that they bring out 1 million and 1 trillion people out of poverty and whatever. What happened differently before the election? Look at Nigeria now, nothing is moving, nothing is happening. I regretted of being a citizen of Nigeria. That's what I have to do. I still remember Jackson.
Okay. Thank you. It's quite bad when citizens begin to regret their citizenship. I don't know what to say, but then let's not lose hope. Let's not think that all hope is lost. Let's not assume or believe that there is no way to salvage this situation. If we can be diligent enough to do our part to justify every action via considerations or the stance of our conscience, I believe that we would save Nigeria and make it a better place. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
I am Haji Benajaya, and I usually take life from Ali Kumumeba Pension Kingdom in Himas and Anoko Kumet of Timote. I associated myself with the statement credited to Governor Goa to the fact that FGC in altitude plunged Nigeria into abject poverty, unbearable hunger, and massive unemployment because the trajectory is obvious. That can problem from Haji Benajaya and the same life from Ali Kumumeba Pension Kingdom in Himas and Anoko Kumet of Timote.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. And now we have a message on Facebook. This one says the statement by Oshomole is a welcome development and the simple truth. Peter couldn't handle Anambra State during his tenure as a state governor. Now he wants to rule Nigeria. My question is, how did he intend to do all these he has been boasting of? Whereas during his tenure as the governor, the Anambra can't come home for burial nor marriage because of the insecurities. What about stopped working during his time? An Anambra State governor. Nigeria is bigger than Obi. Secondly, Kano's lawyer to Hope Uzodinma. I want to urge Nigerians to stop listening to an unfounded story without evidence. If Kano's lawyer can't afford to present evidence on that, his allegations, the security operatives must go after him. My name is Abuchi Michael Ibu, the youngest soldier in Ojo Barracks, Lagos State. Thank you, Abuchi Michael, for talking to us. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Arinze.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Oh, finally, I'm hearing you today.
Congratulations.
Speaking from Umar Paradawara Soka, on the statement credited to the distinguished man, Femi Falana, the statement they made about what the police authorities are saying, that if a Nigerian policeman, whether in uniform or out of uniform, if the policeman snaps you, if he kicks you, if he spits on you, if he even hits you with the butt of his gun, you don't have any right to retaliate. Just remain as humble as the lamb being led to the slaughter, and then pray God that you remain alive until you get to the nearest police station and make a complaint. That you should not physically retaliate. That's what the police authorities are telling Nigerians to do. And that is what Femi Falana is condemning by saying that that statement is provocative. And I am aligning with Femi Falana. Can you imagine the police now being given the right to beat you as well, hit you with the butt of their gun, do anything to you, spit on you, a Nigerian, and you are not supposed to retaliate physically? Well, let's not retaliate, because that was Dick has told us that it is a madman that will go to argue with a man with their gun. They have their gun, and there could be accidental discharge. So Nigerians, save yourself. If you see the police coming, run away before he starts beating you, and then making sure you are alive before you the next police station to make your request. This is a word for the wise. Whichever is taken from Oga, bless you, Omega.
Thank you. Thank you for talking to us. It's quite alarming. It's quite painful. I wouldn't know how to actually comment on that. And when you are being assaulted by a police, you just need to keep mute. Let's see what the government, let's see what the authorities that be, let's see what even the judiciary, the legislators would have to say about that. And we have this text here says, "Good morning, Omega FM. Jude Ken from Unubi. Oshomole is saying that P2B have done nothing in Anambra. He should go and verify." Thank you. Thank you for talking to us. Okay, let's see if we have some other messages. Okay, this one here says, "Good morning, Arinze Chukwu. For what reason should masqueraders invade church, flog pastor and worshippers? Let government of Plateau State warn them for that act." Ezekiel from Ezini Vitagwata. Thank you for texting, Ezekiel. This one says, "Good morning, Arinze. This is Chukwude from Akokwa. I concur with Governor Okowa. APC has really put Nigeria in hardship. May God help us. Thanks, Arinze." Chukwude from Akokwa. Thank you, Chukwude, for texting. This one says, "Good morning, Omega FM. Achikba rising from Moji River. As for me, 2023 election is not all that necessary. Please let us face the reality. I think that it is better for us to think more about insecurity, like killing, banditry, and kidnapping, than to think of election. So let us stop yelling for elections, because who fight another way will fight another day. Please do not say your PVC. It is what you will use to wipe bad-head politicians out of the race. May God help us." Achiba from Oji River. And this one says, "From Chief Organizer 1 of Akokwa in Imo State, 7 million Nigerians sue INEC over voters card registration. It is true, because many Nigerians did not register before INEC closed down, and a lot Excuse me. Make Nigerians to be angry. Okay, and it made Nigerians to be angry. Interesting, because they will not vote in 2023 general elections. BBC. Thank you, organizer one. And finally, this one says, well done, Mr. Arenze Chukwu. Thank you for well. My name is Chief Sabinus Chimobi Ezanwaka, texting from Itenansa here in Imo State. The auctioning of vehicles of traffic offenders by the Lagos State government is condemnable. I am appealing to the Lagos State government to stop this practice and compensate the victims adequately. Okay, and that's all we can take from the text messages. And on our Facebook, this one says, good, well, wonderful morning, sir. I am Frank Anaya Obo, who told Adam that Obi could not handle Anambra State as governor. What did he, Adams, do in Edo State? And that's coming from our Facebook. Let's see if we can. Adam has failed us. We can no longer take any calls. And again on Facebook, this is coming from Kenichi Calvin. It says, and it seems Abuchi Michael is insulting other people's sensitivity. He is saying that ASU should be dissolved when he can't listen to them. Okay. I don't know where you're picking that Abuchi Michael from. That's coming from our Facebook, and that's basically how much we can take on the electronic press review this morning. Do not forget that by 8 o'clock, Mona and his team will be here for the Mega Morning Sports Show. And by 9 o'clock, Darko Senami will be here to bring us updates on Point of View. Do have a blessed day. My name is Arinze Chukwu.